Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Rebecca, the reseller, and I am a six-figure reseller on Poshmark and other platforms, and I am excited to have you here today. Before we get into the video, I would love it if you could go ahead and subscribe here to the Vendoo YouTube channel. We publish videos here every Friday, and they are all about reselling and how to grow your business. To answer the question, can you use Vendoo if you're only selling on Poshmark? And the answer is yes, and I'm primarily a Poshmark seller, and I have gone on and off several other platforms. You guys have heard me talk about it. I've been on and off of eBay and have a love-hate relationship there. I have been on and off of Mercari and have really been able to figure out how to make success on Mercari. Currently, I'm on Mercari. I've been on and off Tradesy. I've been on and off Citizen. I've been on and off several different platforms, but Poshmark has always been the best for me. It's the easiest to use, and when I started using Vendoo as a cross-posting platform to other platforms, I realized the power of Vendoo, and so when I decided to just really be a Poshmark seller primarily, I decided to keep Vendoo. And so I wanted to talk to the people that hear all of us resellers talk about Vendoo but think it's not for them, or that there's no benefit in using it for them because they're only a Poshmark seller. And I'm here today with a couple of different ways that you can utilize Vendoo that actually really make sense and really help you better your business and work faster and work less by using Vendoo that makes it worth the small investment that Vendoo is. So I actually have 4 reasons why I think even if you're just a Poshmark seller, you can utilize Vendoo to your advantage. And I'll tell you exactly how I do it. So the first and probably the most important is using Vendoo to relist and delist. This is by far the most time savings and the most efficient way to relist and delist items. So if you're a Poshmark seller, you know that Poshmark added the copy feature a while back. Before that, you do everything manually, and that was even worse. Then Poshmark added the copy feature, and you were able to click a button, create a copy. It kind of brought everything over. You still had to make some adjustments. It's really annoying because you have to take out the word copy, which drives me crazy. It also drives me crazy when I see people that forget to take out the word copy, but it does give you the opportunity to a little bit more quickly create a copy of your Poshmark listing so you can refresh it and have it show up as a new listing. And this is good to kind of refresh stale inventory, help items show up in that just in sort feature, and just kind of like refresh everything. We know the benefits of relisting. So Poshmark does have this feature available. It is free, but it's not perfect. It's kind of annoying, and it is time consuming, and you have to do them one by one. And so if you're someone like me that has a really large, I think it's really large, I have like 1,200, 1,500, 1,800 items at any given time on Poshmark, it can be kind of a pain in the neck to sit there and do this all manually. You can do it from your phone, but I think it's a lot easier to do it on the computer, and it's time consuming. So when you use Vendoo as only a Poshmark seller, you're able to import all of your inventory into Vendoo with a couple of clicks. It's very easy. And that step when you get started with Vendoo is probably the thing that takes the longest because you're putting everything in. But once that's done, then you never have to do it again. And so that's over. Like that time investment is well worth it for all the time savings that you get throughout the time that you're relisting these items. So let's say you dump in all your items and import them into Vendoo. Now they're in Vendoo. That's a record of your inventory, and we'll get to that in a second. But on the relisting and delisting, all you have to do is click a couple of buttons. It's so fast and it's so easy, and you don't have to deal with the copy, like taking out the word copy in the listing. You don't have to do that. All the photos carry over, your title carries over. You don't have to worry about it being truncated. It's so fast and easy. So when you have all of your items in Vendoo, you can choose to relist and delist manually one at a time, or you can utilize their bulk relist and delist. And I guess I should really say it delist then relist. You can do the bulk delist and relist, which right now I believe it's 10 that you can do at a time. And so that's great because I can set it up to do click, 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 select these 10, delist, Poshmark, walk away, go do some dishes, come back, relist. Actually, I think you can do them both at the same time. Do them both at the same time and it will delist it and relist it. And I can walk away and go do something and then come back and have another 10 done, walk away and then come back. That doesn't happen with the Poshmark copy feature at all. So it is a huge time savings even if you do it one by one, but it's even more of a time savings because you can go throw in a load of laundry, do a couple dishes, deal with your child and make them a snack, like whatever it is, or go take some photos of some items, like whatever you want to multitask with, you can, because Vendoo is going to do the work for you on your behalf. So I think I over-explained it, but relisting and delisting with Vendoo instead of Poshmark is well worth Vendoo in my mind because it saves me so much time and annoyance and aggravation. And it encourages me to relist and delist more often. So the reason why I was having a couple of like, oh, it's like this, no, it's like this, is because I actually have a virtual assistant and I have trained her to do these things for me. So I'm not actually doing them really anymore myself, but I have. I've done them for a long time. And so I can tell you the time savings. Obviously, when you have a virtual assistant and do it for you, it's even more of a time savings. But because she is more productive, because of the time saving that Vendoo offers, I'm paying her less money, which is also like a double bonus for me. So dealing and relisting, again, by far the biggest benefit to having Vendoo, even if you're not cross-posting to other platforms. So if you're just getting started and you're a new Poshmark seller or you're a solo Poshmark seller, you can utilize Vendoo to save time and effort. Just from that alone, it is well worth it. Now I want to get into the next one. So Vendoo offers a feature called labels, which is really fantastic. I've talked about it on Instagram before. I love using labels for a lot of different reasons, and many people use them for lots of different reasons. I classify my boutique items by adding a label to my boutique items. I mark things due to season. So these would be winter items, fall items, summer items. I do source. So if I get them from bulk purchase or a specific palette or a specific thrift store, or I do, one-off sourcing somewhere online, or I do retail arbitrage, there are ways that you may want to analyze the information about your Poshmark closet and where you sourced something and how those sales are going. And did you make your money back and what's your profit? So there's lots of things that you might want to know. You also might want to, because of the seasons, you may want to say, okay, well, I'm gonna pull up all my fall items because it's August and I'm gonna relist all of my fall items. All I have to do is click the label. Everything that has that label gets pulled up, and then I can go down the line and delist and relist, either manually or in bulk, those specific items. Sometimes I like to make like a section of items where it's like, if this doesn't sell, I'm gonna put it on a sale. And so I can mark that with a certain label. So there's lots of ways that you may want to analyze the inventory you have and classify it and look at it in a certain way. And with Poshmark, you really can't do that. So for me, sometimes I'll put a like on certain items and I can pull it up by my likes, but that doesn't allow me to do different things with it. So for me, because my inventory is all loaded into Vendoo, I'm able to go into Vendoo and just quick do a search for a specific label and all of those items will pull up and then I can act on it. I can see the sold from those labels. I can see the currently active from those labels. I can even see drafts. If I label it, I would see them in the draft section as well. So there's lots of ways that you can make more informed decisions for your business by labeling your items, and that's a feature of Vendoo. And that's not something that has anything to do with cross-posting. So you can just be a Poshmark seller, add labels to your inventory in Vendoo, and make some really good choices for your business. The next one is inventory tracking. So for me, because I do have a large inventory, I get it from lots of sources. I have things marked with labels, as I've said. And so sometimes I want to go through and pull up certain things. I want to go through and do an inventory audit. I want to go through and just find something and make some revisions, let's say. So let's say I found out about a new keyword, and so I want to pull up all of the items that are wrap dresses. I can type in the search wrap dress, pull up all of those items, and then go in and make a specific edit and relist and delist them in bulk. And to me, that's a lot easier and more manageable to do in Vendoo than it is to do on Poshmark. You can kind of do it. It's all going to be very manual one-off basis. And even though Poshmark now gives us the ability to search within our closet, I don't think it's the best. And I actually really like the search in Vendoo a lot better. So when I'm trying to find a specific item to make an edit, it's a lot easier for me to do it in Vendoo than it is for me to do it in Poshmark. So for me, when it regards to tracking my inventory in some way, whether it's making revisions, making changes, analyzing something, I'm manipulating my inventory in Vendoo way more comfortably, I guess is the word, or efficiently than I can in Poshmark. So for me, I find that that's extremely helpful. The other thing I will say is that, and this is the fourth one, is for analytics. And so many people ask me about my spreadsheets and how do I track this and how do I track that. And this is something I've talked about in the past of it being a benefit of Vendoo, but I think even for a Poshmark seller, it works as well, is that you can track your inventory and get great analytics from Vendoo that is you can see your cost, your profit, your categories, all of those things, and it's already built in there. And so for me, having everything in one place, even though some things you can get from Poshmark, you can pull a report of your sales data and do the whole CSV file, which I find really annoying. You can see some things in Closet Insights, and that's gotten a little bit better, but I don't love it, and it doesn't give me everything I want to know. And Vendoo gives me everything I want to know, and it allows me to see it in a manageable way. And so because I'm already in there doing all of the other things, it's just seamless. And so I find even as a Poshmark seller, I don't need to keep extra spreadsheets or tallies or charts or any other thing because everything's in Vendoo. And so that is a benefit in and of itself. Forget the fact that you get to see your analytics, just having everything in one place and not having to track all these other things and have all of these spreadsheets and Google Sheets. It gets to be too much. You become a slave to your tracking systems when you get into spreadsheets and stuff. So people ask me all the time, what kind of spreadsheet do I use? I used to have a custom spreadsheet. I paid a woman hundreds of dollars to build it for me. And once I started using Vendoo, again, initially it was because I was cross-posting items, but now that I'm not really doing that, I still use it because it makes it so much easier. So I highly encourage you, if you are only a Poshmark seller, to really think about the benefits I've talked about and how that would help you on a monthly basis, because the investment, depending on the size of your inventory and how many items you're going to be listing in Vendoo, the cost is extremely economical, I feel. And, obviously there's discount codes out there. And I think that on a monthly basis, it's a very small investment to save the amount of time and effort in doing the tasks that I've outlined. You should be delisting and relisting. If you're not, doing that is going to help you make more sales. And when you do it with Vendoo, it's definitely hands down going to save you time. When you add labels, it's going to help you make informed sourcing decisions, or it's going to help you access certain categories and types of items so that you can do sales generating activities for those items. Tracking the inventory makes all kinds of things a lot easier, especially when you're doing audits or you want to make revisions. And then finally, the analytics could save you not having to update any spreadsheets at all. And if you're someone that currently is using a spreadsheet, that could save you a lot of time in the month. So this was like kind of a big commercial, but I wanted people to know that it's not just for cross-posting. It is really helpful for that, and that makes it a breeze. But if you're just on Poshmark, you can still utilize Vendoo just to make you a more efficient and productive reseller. I think it will also impact your sales just doing some of the things that I've outlined. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and I would love to know, do you have any other ways you could think of as a Poshmark seller that you could use Vendoo for? I would really love to know. I'd be really super curious. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video on the way out, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the Vendoo YouTube channel. We share useful reseller information and Vendoo software updates. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!